What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So the Biden administration is actually considering providing additional relief to over 40 million Americans. This is big news. And this is coming as the U.S. unemployment rate, as of today, is now at 3.8%. Inflation is expected to rise even higher than the 7.5% that's currently at. We know hourly wages increased, reportedly last month. They stated that workers got an 8.8% raise over the past 12 months. However, it was revised today, and hourly wages that were released today are now showing that it's actually 6.6% over the past 12 months. But remember, I just said inflation is at 7.5, so the American people are actually getting paid less. We're not keeping up with inflation. But this, along with gas prices that are currently averaging $3.83 a gallon here in the United States, the Biden administration is looking at all possibilities to provide the American people with more relief. This is really good news. Now, this could mean more than just relief at the pumps, relief for gas prices. We could see additional benefits go to those on Social Security. We could see more for those still looking for work and are still unemployed. And what has been discussed in length today is the fact that the Biden administration is actually considering an extension on the federal student loan payment pause. And this is extremely big news. And I want to explain why. What we know is that many lawmakers have been pushing, asking, requesting that President Biden goes and forgives up to $50,000 in student debt. We see people like Elizabeth Warren. We see people like AOC, Pramila Jayapal, a lot of different lawmakers, both senators and representatives, pushing to see federal student loans just forgiven. Now, what I can tell you is that the harder the American people are hit due to the rising costs, mainly with gas, the conflicts over with Russia and Ukraine, right? When we see all these things, and then if you throw in potential rising interest rates very soon, what we are expecting is the Biden administration to come in and hopefully provide some relief. Now, just to give you an idea, the average monthly payment for federal student loans is currently $460 per month. Now again, and I said this, AOC just came out yesterday. She called out, or actually, maybe it was Wednesday. She called out President Biden for not mentioning more about federal student loans in his State of the Union address that he gave on Tuesday. Now, it's looking more and more likely that the Education Department is highly considering another round of relief. And here's why. This relief will likely be an extension, of the federal student loan payment pause. Now, what you need to understand is on May 1st, the federal student loan payment pause will expire, which means federal student loans will have to be repaid. But the reports indicate that President Biden is highly considering student loan forgiveness due to the state of our current economy. We even heard from the White House Chief of Staff, Ron Klain, just yesterday as well. He stated on a podcast that a decision for student debt forgiveness will be made prior to resuming payments. Remember, I just said payments will resume on May 1st. He says this decision will come and it will happen before the payment pause expires, which is May 1st. That's in less than 2 months. So it's quite possible an extension could be in the works, according to Ron Klain. And he had this to say, and he said, and I quote, "The president is going to look at what we should do on student debt before the pause expires, or he'll extend the pause." Now, this is very clear. He's actually very clear here. Students shouldn't be expecting to make another payment on their student loans come March 1st, because there will either be an extension or some form of forgiveness. Now, let's touch on the forgiveness part for a second. What we know is that President Biden said in his campaign promise up to $10,000. Other lawmakers requested up to $50,000, and that's still what they're pushing. The expectation is $10,000 will be the cap. But if that's the case, how quickly can we get that, initiated? This is where the extension will likely come in. Most likely, the President Biden and the Biden administration will push this back into the summer, possibly even to the end of the fiscal year, which would be the end of September. So if this happens, the extension goes all the way back to September, what President Biden could be looking to do is push it all the way back in hopes that Democrats would get more seats in the House and the Senate, and they could pass this in Congress. They could pass forgiveness in Congress, because President Biden doesn't want to be the one to do that. That's at least according to all reports. And the reason why is simple. President Biden had two big promises. One, provide student debt forgiveness up to $10,000. The other one, which is very big, is $200 per month to all Social Security beneficiaries. That's the problem, is if President Biden forgives the student debt, then people on fixed income and people on Social Security will be wondering, well, when is it our time? So at least that's the report, is President Biden doesn't want to be the one that does this, pretty much just unilaterally all on his own. He wants Congress to have input in it. So this is where the really big news comes in, because this could mean more for Social Security beneficiaries in the near future. Because according to reports, there's two groups of people that have had the toughest time in the United States ever since the pandemic started. It is people with student loans and those on fixed incomes. Now, one thing that I've been a firm believer in for months is that more relief will be coming if the American people are still seen as struggling here in the US. And again, with oil prices where they are, interest rates to go up very soon, wages expected to increase, the wage increase is expected to actually slow. The Americans' portfolios and their so-called safety nets, we're seeing those that they're shrinking day by day. And right now, it's about time the federal government stepped back in and provided relief and actually answers. Now, I wasn't planning on creating a video to tell you that everything's going to be perfect and everything's going to be, fine. You got nothing to worry about. The purpose of this video is to let you know that more is being considered. It's always been being considered. It's just, did we have the support of Congress? And as of right now, we don't really have that support. That's where President Biden would come in and say, all right, I'm just going to pass an executive order, and this is what's going to happen. So one of the things that I will be doing over the next possibly week is, a lot of you guys have been asking a bunch of different questions. So instead of making very long videos, 10 to 15 minute long videos like I normally do, my goal, probably this weekend I'll start, would be to create more shorter form videos to answer your specific questions. So the result of this, probably maybe more videos, maybe more than 3, but my goal is to keep it at 3 videos per day. And the goal is to just answer you guys' questions on those very specific topics. So if this is something that you're interested in, just go ahead, make sure you go and click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss an update. But that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.